Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
I haven't posted a video in literal months since the trailer for After came out. But we're here and hopefully we're back. Don't have any, don't set any standards for me because they're very low. But yeah, I was talking to my friend Laura. Y'all know her. And I posted on Twitter. I was like, hey, does anyone have, what video should I make? Because that's, really my biggest issue is I don't know what videos to make and what I'm good at and what people would be interested in seeing. So I was like, I was really thinking, I was like, I don't want to just make a fucking random video. I want to make videos that I'm proud of and videos that I actually care about talking about. Because I could make an After video every fucking week, but I probably would get bored of it and it wouldn't be as fun for me. So I want to make videos that I actually am passionate about, and this series of videos that I'm thinking of doing is something I'm extremely passionate about and something that I don't think I could ever get bored of talking about. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. It's going to be just us talking in front of me just talking in front of a camera and saying my thoughts about important things to me and things I deem very important and I want to talk about and I think should be talked about more. I'm going to talk about mental health today. If you see my Twitter, if you know me, I have struggled with mental health my entire life and it's not been the easiest road, to say the least, for me and for a lot of people. So that's what I want to talk about. I want to answer questions. I want to talk about what I think is important and what I think and my story with mental health and where I'm at and where I want to be and my goals, because I think that's very important. And yeah, so I'm going to start with me first. I have been struggling with anxiety and depression since I was a child. It's never been something that's just sprung upon me. It's just I've always dealt with it and I've always thought that was the norm. Yeah, I started therapy very young. I got put on medication. I took medication pretty much my entire life. And then not up until a few years ago, I was like, I don't want to feel that I need to be normal. I don't want to rely on a pill to make me feel like a functioning human being. Do you know what I mean? Some people think medication has changed their life, and I think that's so amazing. I think if it works for you, that's so amazing, and I'm so glad that it's worked for you. For me, it makes me feel like a robot. I don't want to feel like a robot. Sure, it helps ease my anxiety and my depression, but I also feel like I'm not a real human being. So I'm kind of like, what do? I can't get the best of both worlds, and I'm trying to figure out ways to help cope. I'm trying, I really am, but I mean right now nothing seems to work. So I'm still, it's not like I'm saying, oh, here's my wisdom, I know everything, I'm healed. No, I'm gonna struggle with this shit for the rest of my life. It's a mental illness. It doesn't just go away overnight. It takes a long time to learn how to cope. I will never get rid of this. That's what scares me. It's making me sad. I will never be 100% rid of my mental illness. My mental illness is. I'm never gonna be free of it, and I know that, and it's hard to grasp and it's hard to really think about, because that's one of my biggest fears, is never being able to rid this feeling, because it's a terrible feeling and I would never wish it upon my worst enemy. I just wouldn't. I think it's one of the most terrible feelings that a human being can have. So yeah, I don't know where I'm at right now. Today is a good day. I'm really just taking it day by day. Today was a good day. I had a good day today. But some days aren't good days, and that's perfectly fine. I know I'm gonna have bad days. I know I'm gonna have good days. I'm just really taking every day as they come. Sorry I cried. That's literally gross. Anyway. But yeah. I've just always dealt with this, and I know that I need to get better. I have to. I know that for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my future children. I know I need to be better and to be healthy. It's just, I need to get better, and that's why I'm trying. I really am. Whether people on the internet think I am or I'm not, or people in my real life think I am or I'm not. I truly, to my core, am trying to be better. I really am. But yeah, so that was like a rant, I'm sorry. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, I've always had depression and anxiety. It's just always been what I have. But yeah, I got off of medication a few years ago, and that's when it really got bad. But I sometimes I think, and I'm like, should I have gotten off my medication? Should I not have? But I genuinely think I don't regret getting off my medication. I think it made me not who I am. Like, I was just so flat. I wish you could have saw me. I was just so, I had no personality. I'm not like how I am now, where I'm very, talkative. I'm very over the top. I'm very extra, or I'm very opinionated. I was not like that. I was very flat. I just went through my day, and I didn't feel like me. So yeah, I got off my medication. I don't know. I just stopped taking it. I also stopped therapy, which is one of the things I really regret. But I could not afford it. It's so expensive. I just genuinely could not afford therapy anymore. And it just, like, I couldn't do it. If I had the money, I would have continued going, but I just genuinely could not afford therapy. It's a lot. But anyway, so after that, I got really, really bad. This past year has probably been one of the lowest points I've ever had, and one of the hardest times I've ever had to go through, which is really weird because this past year was probably one of the best years of my life. That's what really sucks about having a mental illness or just anxiety and depression. You could be at your best and you can still feel your worst. I could have my entire life. I could be a millionaire. I could have everything I've ever wanted. I have the best friends I could ever ask for. I have a mother. I have a father. I have family. I have everything I could ever want, but I'm still probably the most miserable I've ever been. And that's what I hate. I hate that mental illness doesn't reflect the life that you are given. It sucks. It sucks really bad. I could have the best life in the world and still be at rock bottom, which sucks. And that goes for anyone. You can literally have the best life. I know people who are struggling will understand what I'm saying. Like, you could have everything and still feel like you are nothing. It's such a barrier. It's a burden. It's a barrier and a burden. It just stops me from doing things, leaving the house. Like, sometimes I don't even want to get out of bed and take a shower. It's terrible, and it's just the worst feeling. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, you constantly feel alone and like a failure, because I know my friends will vouch for this. I'll text them, like, I just feel terrible. Like, I just feel like I'm a loser. Like, I can't get out of bed in the morning. Like, I don't even want to take a shower. I don't want to go outside because of my own head. Like, you're constantly battling with your own brain. Every single day, you're battling with yourself. And it's so hard. I just wouldn't wish it on anyone. That was like a lot. Now I'm gonna get into your guys' questions. You guys sent me a few on Twitter. I asked for some. So I'm just gonna answer a few. My camera just fucking shut off. Really interesting. I'm like, cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Question number 1, any coping mechanisms for anxiety and depression that have helped you? I know it sounds really cliche, but for anxiety, breathing is so important. I find that when I'm about to have an anxiety attack, I do like really steady breaths in the nose, out the mouth. It's helped me a lot with anxiety and like going into a panic attack. That's always been, it sounds like so cliche and like it doesn't work, but I truly think it helps me. I had a talk with my health teacher recently, and she said that, like, you know, like when you're giving birth and like you like make like the really crazy noises, I'm not gonna do it right now, but you know, like the like really heavy breaths, like that, she told me that really helped her when she was having anxiety. She would just do that, and it sounds really weird, but it helps a lot, and I've been doing that recently, so thank you to my health teacher.
Welcome to I Kappa Kappa Soup, and we are local fraternity brothers. What we do around here for initiation, we skin you alive and drop you in a tub of acid. Whoever survives gets to join the fraternity. Who's ready?
Dropping them in acid? Yeah, the finishing touch of the smoothie.
Very good.
This is the finishing touch of the smoothie. That's the finishing touch. About to try my smoothie. Very good.
Moving on. When did you notice that your mental health was the worst it had ever been? Probably my 13th birthday. My 13th birthday was one of the worst days of my entire life. That's why I have like this weird thing with birthdays. I hate birthdays because I like have this weird childhood trauma for my 13th birthday. My father was on hard drugs. That can be a whole nother video if we want to talk about addiction and like how I coped with my dad being a drug addict and like addiction and all of that. We can talk about that in another video if that's what you guys would like to see. My dad was probably at his worst when he was on drugs. And my 13th birthday, I was with one of my best friends at the time. We were over at my house and about to leave to go to a football game, and my dad just came home and started, like, it was so bad. And that's probably when my downward spiral of my depression and my anxiety really hit. Before that, I was kind of like, okay, like, I get panic attacks sometimes I feel terrible, but before this point it had never been this bad, and that's really what happened. After that moment I was kind of just, I had a huge panic attack. That day I had a huge panic attack, and that was one of the worst panic attacks I've ever had. And just from that point on, it was so bad. My depression was at its peak. It was crazy. So that was probably it. Recently, I think I've been getting a lot better. Slowly incline from here, fingers crossed, but that was probably that moment. What was the turning point for you to seek help with your mental health? I think early this year was when I was like, I can't get any worse than I am now. Like, I cannot let myself get any worse. I truly cannot. Like, I was like, I cannot, for myself, for my family, for my friends, I cannot let myself get past this point. I have to go up from here. So that was probably the point where I realized I needed to turn shit around and I needed to get my shit into gear and get better. But as I said, I'm trying. I really am. I think I've gotten a little better. Yeah, I'm trying. I really am. But I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not at all. I'm trying. I really am. But I still have terrible days. I still have really good days. It's just, I'm just taking days as they come, as I said. But yeah, that was just the point where I was like, I gotta turn my life around. Like, I can't live like this anymore. What is your biggest motivator when you are feeling sad? Probably my friends. I think about when I'm having a really, really bad day, I think about all of the good things that I do have. And my friends are one of the biggest things in my life. They are, oh my god, why am I getting sad? They're probably one of the best people I've ever met, and I don't know what I would do without them. My biggest motivators are probably them. I've never met a group of people who have loved me for who I am as a whole. I've never met a group of people who would literally die for me. Like, I've always, when I'm in friendships, I've always been the person to give and get nothing back and just take it. And seeing, like, being with people who give you that back and reciprocate the love, and it's an equal part, it's so different and it's so crazy, and it's really sad that I've never experienced that. But I have my girls, and yeah, they're one of the biggest people. I sit and think about what I would, if I weren't here, how that would affect them and how that would affect me not getting to see them anymore. So yeah, they're probably my biggest motivators. This sounds really cheesy, but Harry Styles. He's been with me since I was a kid, I've grown up with him, and he's really been the only constant in my life for my entire life. He's really been the only constant I've ever had in my entire life. He has, oh, it's so crazy how someone who doesn't even know you can literally save your life. His music, him as a person, he's made me be kinder. He's made me just think about what I need to do to be the best version of me. I think about it every day, how if I didn't have him, if I would even be alive. I don't know. Yeah, he's one of my biggest rocks, and his music has truly saved me, and he's saved me, and I'll never be able to repay him for that and thank him enough for that. But I love him so much, and he's probably been one of the biggest things, apart from my friends, that have truly kept me going and the reason why I'm here. He's made me want to be better and get better, and made me feel like I'm worthy of being here and getting up every day to keep going. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's all I'm going to talk about for today. If you are struggling, right, is that serious, Ma? I just want to promise you that you have so much to live for, and that this small portion of your life that you feel like you can't get through, you will get through. Like, just think of everything you have to look forward to. Your kids, you'll have kids eventually, you're going to get married, you're going to have a house, you're going to have, you have so much life that will continue on and that you have to live for, and that's what I think of. I always sit down and think, what do I have to look forward to? Because I know some days you just feel like this is all you're ever going to feel, and that you'll never feel anything else but this emptiness and this loneliness and this sadness. But I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, you will feel happiness. You will be happy. This feeling isn't going to last every single day. You're not going to feel this feeling every single day of your life, I promise you. You may have a few bad days, you may have good days, but I promise you, you will get better. And it's going to look up. And that's what I'm telling myself. It's going to look up from here. You have so much life to live and so much good to look forward to. And you have people that love you and care about you, and that would do anything for you. So just remember that. Remember everything good in your life, and all the people that are good in your life, and everything you have to look forward to. Your life's going to be amazing. We're going to get through this together. We're going to be happy. We're going to do it. We're going to make it through, and I know we will. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully I'll be back. But yeah, I just feel like this is very important, and I want you all to be the happiest version of you, and I want you all to feel that you are not alone, and you will make it through this, and you're so strong, and I love you.